everyone. So here is another interesting book recommendation for all of you. At least I found the book interesting. So the book's name is Triumph of Tenacity. It's written by Yusra Mariyam, who has a humble beginning. She originally hails from Bangladesh, but she lived and she's educated in UK. So the story is about Yusra Mariyam's journey after she turns 43. So let me rewind the story before 43. We'll start from the beginning. I'll quickly summarize the entire story. So the story begins with Yusra's father moving to UK to work as a laborer in a factory. When she turns 7 years old, she also moves in with her entire family to UK and she gets into a school. Before school, she gets into a tuition class where she has to learn the language. So there, she has to learn English. She doesn't know English. Since she is from Bangladesh, she knows only her local language, that is Bengali. So that was a new task for her. So what happened was, while I started reading this book, I got connected to the author because I felt at many places, even her instances of her childhood, where she had to learn English from scratch, and what she knew was only her local language. I relate to that experience of hers because I also had a similar experience when I moved into a different country and I did not know the local language also and English also. So yes, there she starts learning everything from a scratch. Then coming to the school days, where I remember one particular incident where she starts learning to swim. So in her swimming lesson, she already knows to swim because in Bangladesh she has already swam in local rivers. But here, looking at the pool, the coach, all the safety gears offered to you, she gets panicked and she forgets to swim for a moment. But once she gets into the water, she is a fish. She removes all her safety gears and swims, and thereby she represents her school in various swimming competitions also. So essentially, this book deals with a very sweet and innocent bond between Yusra and her father. I remember one particular incident where her father is confessing that when he was at UK, away from his family, when he used to pass by the fruit stalls, he used to feel like eating fruits. But he would resist himself, thinking of his family, that when they are not able to eat fruit, how can anything go beneath his throat? So that statement from a father's end, it gave me goosebumps, because really, when you are a parent and you have so many goodies that you know that your kid likes it, loves it, but your child is not around to relish it, how can anything go down your throat? So that was really retellable, and that sweet bond and the way her father encourages her to go ahead, in spite of he being an uneducated person, he not knowing how to read, he still encourages all his kids to study in good schools. But what happens is, Yusra, initially, she excels in her academics. She mends her English and she learns English really well. And she becomes her parents' translator wherever they go to UK. She reads the boards for them. She translates the English to her parents in their local language. So initially, she is boosted. But as and when she ascends up, like she goes to higher classes, she finds certain subjects very difficult, like mathematics. She is not able to solve many problems, and she does not even get proper assistance and guidance from her teachers also, because of which she fails in her GCSE papers. So Yusra's only dream, she had many dreams in her childhood. She had many aspirations, wherein one of them was she wanted to join the police force, and the second was she wanted to get into law field, wherein she could learn and understand law and protect people. So basically that was her motto. So what happens here is, once she fails in her GCSE, so I did not know what GCSE is, but I did a little Google research and I found out that it is equivalent to our matriculation certificate. The 10th standard, what we call as board, SSC, SSLC in various states, is called as GCSE in UK and other foreign countries. So this is what I understand. So there she fails. Now, having no option, she has to concede to her parents' wish and she has to get married. But it is her luck that she is married to a wonderful man who supports her throughout. And after marriage, she gives birth to 6 beautiful children, wherein she feels that her life is fulfilled. She is happy with her kids. She is happy teaching them. She is happy taking them around to many classes. And whenever any of the child had any issue with the subject, she always ensured that the child got proper guidance and tutoring from outside the school. So now, with all this, she turns 43 years old. Now she wants to, she feels free and she wants to do something for herself, because she has spent her entire life, she has dedicated her entire life for her family. So what she does is, she takes up a random job in a sales department and she realizes that this is her thing. She's doing great until Corona hits in year 2019-20. Where her job comes under danger. Now she is asked to leave her job temporarily. So, but still now she has got used to that independence, the financial independence. So she wants to do something on her own, where she comes across a pamphlet which says that she can earn while she is learning. So that's when those people, when she approaches them, they encourage her to take up higher studies. Now she is entirely nervous because she is 43 years old. How can she even think of getting off with her higher studies at this point of time? But then somehow they convince her and she takes admission in International Business Management in Anglia University at UK. So that's how she gets into a college as a mature student. But since it's Corona, all the classes happen online. Okay, now coming to her academics. Like, it was a roller coaster ride for her and also for me when I was reading it. Not that I'm 43, I'm younger, but still I can relate to her. Like, after having a long gap of 5-6 years from a career oriented life, when you want to jump back to something so dynamic, life turns upside down, and I completely get her. You become nervous and you are not sure whether you are able to do it, but you need your family's support. So I will explain how exactly her family supported. So now all her classes started going online on Zoom calls. So that's when her major weakness, which was mathematics, flashes in front of her. Now she has to learn what she could not learn while she was at school. So here her teacher, he asked whether she needs his assistance or guidance in understanding the maths. But she feels a little insecure and shy to confess to him that yes, she's not understanding the lecture, because she remembers her old school teachers who had failed to guide her. So she doesn't trust her mentor at this point of time. So instead what she does is she approaches her 17-year-old son, who sits with her patiently and he teaches her the basics of mathematics. I also pray, after I read that particular chapter, I pray, I just hope my son also turns out to be the same when he's of that age. Like, teenage boys don't want to spend so much time with their mothers as much as her son would have spent with her. So yes, and she finally excels in maths and she gets an A grade, if my memory goes right. Yes. And now I'll quickly discuss some of the projects that she dealt while she was in her first semester, because since I did industrial engineering and management and I like finances, these subjects were kind of interesting for me. So I'll dwell upon two of those case studies which I found very interesting. The first one, the first case study that she dealt with was ridding the city center of cars. So she wondered whether this project was possible or not, because, and in this she even mentions a Bollywood movie, Love Story 2050, which was Priyanka Chopra, and I don't remember the hero's name. Yeah, so she has mentioned this movie's name also in her book. But the thing was, how she navigates through the case study is what was very interesting for me. First, she finds out the economical impact, the social impact, the people that are affected. She checks for the impact on the office-going employees. She checks for the impact on the school children. She checks for the impact on the environment, and she checks how reading the city center could decrease global warming. And she takes this project enthusiastically. She takes this project emotionally on her own personal interest, and that's when she comes across the first disappointment. After she presents her case study to her mentor, he is not kind of happy, so he points out many corrections. So here she realizes that extreme enthusiasm doesn't help in solving a project. So now she has very less time but a lot to prepare. So she again works hard on this case study, but while she is delivering the presentation, she tends to look into her notes. That's when her mentor points out that she should be confident enough to present. So many things she learns during these points of disappointment and some instant failures. She learns many things. So the second one was something new to me, which I learned: pestle analysis. Is that she cannot repeat the same old mistakes. So now when she is introducing herself to everyone, she confesses that mathematics is a weakness, and she even approaches her mentor and takes his guidance, unlike last time where she had shied away from taking his guidance. So like this, she navigates through 4 years of her studies. I wish if I could go in detail, but the video is going to go very long. And fast forward to the last chapter, or the second last chapter. Yes, now it's her graduation day, where she takes her younger son and husband. So I was wondering why she chose her younger son. Then I realized that he was the son who helped her with maths, who helped her proofreading her case studies, who helped her with her subjects. Instead of spending time with his friends, he helped her. So she chose him. And again, I will say, I also want my son to be the same when he comes of that teenage, where the boys, they start distancing from the mothers. I think not only she is a good career-oriented woman, in my opinion, she turned out to be a very good mother, because her kids are awesome. They always support her. She has been a wonderful wife, and not to forget, wonderful daughter also to her parents. So yes, and now she intends to do her MA in creative writing. I want to wish Yusra Madam all the very best for her future and her aspirations. I hope your book performs really well, and more people like me read it and take inspiration from you. Thank you.